After 8 months of waiting, Huawei has finally pulled back the curtain on one of the tech industry's best-kept secrets. The MateBook Pro, one of the most prominent models in the Huawei PC family, has been running on mystery silicon since its launch in May 2025. Users, reviewers, and tech enthusiasts have been speculating about what powers this flagship notebook, but the company kept its cards close to its chest. That all changed with the rollout of the Harmony OS 6 update, which has disclosed the chip details for the PC for the first time. The revelation came not through a press release or a marketing campaign, but through a simple software update that suddenly displayed what had been hidden in plain sight all along. The chip powering the MateBook Pro is the Kirin X90, and it represents a significant milestone in Huawei's journey toward technological independence. This is the same chip that Huawei used for the MateBook Fold PC, establishing a unified silicon strategy across its premium laptop lineup. The Kirin X90 features a 4+4+2 configuration chip with a 20-thread architecture and a maximum frequency of 4.2 GHz. The architecture breaks down into 10 cores and 20 threads, with 8 cores running at 2.31 GHz and 2 cores operating at 2.05 GHz. This hybrid design mirrors the performance efficiency core strategies employed by major chip manufacturers, balancing raw computational power with energy efficiency. What sets this chip apart from its Western counterparts is that it uses Huawei's self-developed GPU and NPU units, marking a departure from reliance on third-party graphics and AI processing solutions. The GPU component is the Maliun 916, a graphics processor entirely developed in-house by Huawei. This self-developed graphics solution represents years of investment in semiconductor design and reflects the company's commitment to building a complete technology stack independent of foreign suppliers. The NPU, or Neural Processing Unit, handles AI-specific tasks and workloads, enabling features like intelligent photo editing, voice recognition, and machine learning applications that have become standard in modern computing. The combination of custom GPU and NPU gives Huawei complete control over the performance characteristics and optimization of these critical components, allowing for deeper integration with Harmony OS and the broader Huawei ecosystem. After the update, users observed that the system interface of the PC is now showing the chipset name for the first time. The device debuted in May 2025, but got the official chip details after 8 months of its release in the market. This unprecedented delay in disclosing processor specifications raises questions about Huawei's strategic approach to product launches and information management. In an industry where specifications are typically front and center in marketing materials, Huawei's decision to withhold this information for 8 months stands out as highly unusual. The timing of the disclosure, arriving through a routine software update rather than a dedicated announcement, suggests a deliberate strategy that prioritizes product experience over technical specifications in initial marketing. The Harmony OS 6 update brought more than just chip identification to the MateBook Pro. The firmware delivers system improvements that enhance the overall user experience beyond the revelation of processor details. More games now support keyboard and mouse control mode, expanding the device's gaming capabilities and making it more versatile for entertainment purposes. The update incorporates the February 2026 security patch to enhance the device system security, ensuring that users are protected against the latest threats and vulnerabilities. System stability and performance improvements provide users with a smoother experience across all applications and workflows. The update addresses specific issues that had been affecting users, including fixing the issue of garbled characters in file names in certain situations within the file management application. The Celia AI assistant also received attention, with the update fixing the issue of incorrect file size display when exporting files from Celia Huiji. The 20-thread architecture of the Kirin X90 enables sophisticated multitasking capabilities that allow users to run multiple demanding applications simultaneously without performance degradation. The 4.2 GHz maximum frequency provides burst performance for single-threaded tasks that require immediate computational power, such as compiling code or processing complex calculations. The self-developed Maliun 916 GPU offers advantages in terms of optimization for Harmony OS and Huawei's software ecosystem. but faces limitations when compared to established graphics solutions from AMD and NVIDIA in terms of gaming performance and third-party software support. The NPU's role extends beyond simple AI features, enabling real-world applications like enhanced video conferencing with background blur and noise cancellation, intelligent battery management that learns user patterns, and advanced photo processing that rivals dedicated camera software. The 8-month delay in disclosing the Kirin X90 specifications reflects broader strategic considerations within Huawei's product planning. The company may have delayed disclosure to avoid drawing attention to its chip development efforts during a sensitive period of geopolitical tensions surrounding semiconductor technology. Strategic timing considerations could involve waiting until the chip had proven itself in real-world use before attaching Huawei's brand reputation to its performance specifications. The industry context includes ongoing restrictions on semiconductor exports to China and Huawei specifically, making any advancement in domestic chip production a politically sensitive topic. What this says about Huawei's confidence in the chip is significant, as the company ultimately chose to reveal the specifications rather than continue operating in secrecy, suggesting satisfaction with the processor's performance and market reception. Huawei's PC ecosystem strategy centers on tight integration between hardware and software through Harmony OS, creating a unified experience across laptops, tablets, smartphones, and wearables. The Harmony OS 6 rollout represents the maturation of this operating system beyond mobile devices into a comprehensive computing platform that challenges established players. Future MateBook products will likely build upon the Kirin X90 foundation, with potential iterations offering improved performance and efficiency as manufacturing processes advance. Competition with Western chip makers occurs not in direct performance comparisons, but in creating an alternative technology ecosystem that serves markets where Huawei maintains strong presence. The technology independence narrative extends beyond corporate strategy into questions of national technological sovereignty and the fragmentation of global technology standards. The Kirin X90 revelation marks a turning point in Huawei's computing strategy, demonstrating that the company has successfully developed laptop-class processors without access to cutting-edge Western semiconductor technology. The specifications show a processor that competes in core count and frequency with mainstream laptop chips, even if manufacturing process and absolute performance may lag behind the latest offerings from Intel and AMD. For consumers in markets where Huawei products are available, the MateBook Pro now offers a fully disclosed hardware platform with known specifications and performance characteristics. The future outlook for Huawei PCs depends on continued advancement in chip design and manufacturing capabilities, as well as the expansion of the Harmony OS software ecosystem to support professional and creative applications. The Kirin X90 stands as evidence that technological development continues despite restrictions and that alternative supply chains and development paths can produce competitive products in the global technology marketplace. The year is 2026, and something impossible just happened in a secret facility in Dongguan, China. Huawei, the company that was supposed to be dead after US sanctions, just successfully tested their own extreme ultraviolet lithography machine. They just built the most complex piece of technology on planet Earth, a machine that only one company in the entire world has been able to manufacture until now, and they're using it to make 3-nanometer chips. The same experts who said this would take China 15 years are now watching their predictions crumble in real time. An EUV machine is not just another piece of factory equipment. These machines cost over $350 million each, more expensive than a Boeing 787 Dreamliner. They require 40 shipping containers just to transport. Inside, they use light with a wavelength of exactly 13.5 nanometers to etch circuits onto silicon wafers that are 30,000 times thinner than a human hair. For decades, only ASML, a Dutch company, could build these machines. They had a complete monopoly, no competition, zero. And when the US government pressured the Netherlands to stop selling these machines to China in 2019, everyone thought China's semiconductor dreams were finished. In 2019, the Trump administration hit Huawei with sanctions, cutting them off from American technology and advanced chip tools. ASML, under pressure, stopped shipping EUV machines to China. Huawei's chip-making partner, SMIC, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, was stuck using older DUV technology, which maxes out at 7 nanometers. The sanctions appeared to work perfectly. China's access to cutting-edge chip technology was completely blocked. Western analysts, semiconductor experts, and policymakers all agreed this was game over for China's chip ambitions. But instead of giving up, China went into full wartime mode. They poured billions of dollars into research and development. Xi Jinping made semiconductor independence a national security priority comparable to food security or energy independence. Universities, private companies, and state-owned enterprises were coordinated in a massive push toward technological self-reliance. And now in 2025, we're seeing the result. Huawei didn't just try to copy ASML's approach, they invented something completely different called laser-induced discharge plasma, LDP. While ASML uses laser-produced plasma that blasts tin droplets with high-powered lasers, Huawei's LDP method vaporizes tin between electrodes and zaps it with high-voltage discharge. This creates plasma that emits the exact same 13.5 nanometer wavelength of extreme ultraviolet light needed for chip manufacturing, but through a fundamentally different mechanism. And here's the kicker: it's simpler, smaller, and potentially much cheaper than ASML's hulking machines. This LDP-based EUV system is already in testing at Huawei's Dongguan facility. A Chinese firm rumored to be China's lithography champion filed a patent for this technology in 2023, and now it's coming to life. Trial production is scheduled for the third quarter of 2025, which is just months away. Mass production is targeting 2026. If this works, China could flood the market with homegrown 3-nanometer chips, completely smashing the sanctions wall that was supposed to contain them for the next decade. But this isn't just about Huawei. SMIC, China's top foundry, is in on this too. Together, they're not just trying to catch up, they're aiming to leapfrog Western technology entirely. A South China Morning Post report highlighted that a Harbin team achieved an EUV light source breakthrough, also hitting that critical 13.5 nanometer mark. Meanwhile, the Shanghai Institute of Optics and Fine Mechanics, led by researcher Li Nan, developed an extreme ultraviolet light source platform with power output and operational stability that specialists describe as internationally competitive. Multiple research teams across China have simultaneously achieved breakthroughs in different aspects of EUV technology, including light sources, optics, and lithography systems. This coordination suggests a well-orchestrated national strategy rather than isolated research efforts. Now, let me explain why 3 nanometers matters so much. Smaller chips mean exponentially more power with less energy consumption. A 3-nanometer chip can pack nearly twice as many transistors into the same space as a 7-nanometer chip, dramatically increasing processing power while reducing energy consumption by up to 30%. Your next phone could run advanced AI models directly on the device. Cars could process massive amounts of sensor data in real time for truly autonomous driving. Quantum computing could get a massive boost. The West's lead in this technology has fueled everything from NVIDIA's dominance in artificial intelligence to Apple's iPhone empire. If China cracks 3 nanometers domestically, they're not just joining the game, they could completely rewrite the rules. And the evidence suggests they're already making serious progress. Back in 2023, when Huawei released smartphones powered by 7-nanometer chips, despite all the sanctions, Western analysts were absolutely stunned. The chips were manufactured by SMIC using advanced DUV techniques, demonstrating that China had found workarounds to technological barriers everyone thought were insurmountable. Then in February 2025, Huawei's founder told Xi Jinping directly that chip shortages were easing. This statement, coming from Huawei's leadership to China's president, signaled confidence in their domestic chip production capabilities. Even more telling, NVIDIA, the world's leading AI chip manufacturer, started warning investors about Huawei's AI chip gains. When NVIDIA publicly acknowledges a Chinese competitor's progress, that validates the threat level. In fact, NVIDIA's market value dropped $127 billion in a single day after Huawei announced their Ascend 910 CAI chip, which reportedly matches the performance of NVIDIA's flagship H100. ASML's CEO said in December 2024 that China was still 10 to 15 years behind without EUV technology. Well, that gap is shrinking at a pace nobody predicted. But let's be clear about the challenges that remain. China is still years behind on manufacturing scale. ASML's ecosystem took 20 years to perfect. Huawei's LDP technology is promising but still unproven at commercial scale. Current production yields are estimated around 20 to 30%, far below the 70% typically required for commercial viability and nowhere near ASML's machines that achieve yields exceeding 90%. Trial glitches could easily delay mass production. And even if they succeed, initial yields will likely lag TSMC's polished manufacturing processes. Manufacturing semiconductor equipment at laboratory scale differs vastly from reliable mass production. A research team at Peking University published something in Nature Electronics that made every chip engineer in Silicon Valley stop and stare at their screens in disbelief. They built an analog computing chip using resistive random access memory that processes calculations 1,000 times faster than NVIDIA's H100 GPU while consuming 100 times less power. And here's the kicker. They built it using older 7-nanometer manufacturing technology that the United States never bothered to sanction because everyone assumed it was too primitive to matter. Jensen Huang saw this coming. At the Financial Times AI Summit in London just weeks ago, the CEO of NVIDIA stood on stage and said something nobody expected to hear from the man who built a $5 trillion empire selling GPUs to the world. He said, "China is going to win the AI race, not might win, will win." When the person who literally powers almost every major AI model today tells you his own technology is approaching obsolescence, you need to pay attention. For the past 100 years, we've been doing computing wrong. Every computer you've ever used, every smartphone, every gaming console, every data center running ChatGPT operates on digital computing. Information gets broken down into ones and zeros, bits that are either on or off. Your processor does calculations in one physical location, while your data sits in memory somewhere else. Every single operation requires data to travel back and forth between these two places. This is called the von Neumann bottleneck, and it's why your laptop gets hot, and why training a large AI model can consume more electricity than a small town uses in a month.